What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Lydia. Thanks for tuning in for another day of Curlsmas. And if you're not hip to what Curlsmas is, I'm basically posting curly hair videos every single day until Christmas. So if you haven't watched the other ones, go ahead and watch them and get caught up. But for today's video, I figured since I did my length check video yesterday, I wanted to do a video that kind of had to do with curly hair growth and natural hair growth. A couple months back I did all of my tips for how to grow like long natural curly hair, and you guys really seem to enjoy it. But I figured since I did do a video on that, I kind of wanted to do another spin on it and do all the reasons why your hair may not be growing. So let's just get into the reasons why. So the first is you have a bunch of damage, whether that's heat damage, breakage, all that other stuff, and you're kind of just letting it sit on your hair. Granted, you don't have to do a big chop, but I highly recommend that, you trim your hair every so often, because if anything, all that dead hair is doing, it's weakening the new growth that you're having, and it's gonna just make it even harder for your natural hair to grow. So like I said, you don't really need to do a big chop if you're not ready for that, but if you can, trim as needed. If that means you have to trim every couple months, do that. If you have to trim at least once or twice a year, do that. For me, when I was going through my heat damage transition, I decided to trim my hair little by little, and then eventually I did the big chop. But yeah, so the big mistake and the big reason why your hair is probably not growing is because you're holding on to all of that damage. So snip it off. So we all know that our hair needs moisture, and if your hair is dry like the Sahara Desert, it's not gonna grow. I mean, take a plant for example. It's not really gonna grow if you don't water it. So you want to water your hair, you want to make sure it's getting as much moisture as it needs. You want to deep condition it, you want to do all of the right techniques, you want to put all the right products in. So if you're just letting your hair get dry and tangled up, then girl, sis, your hair ain't growing. So this next reason is kind of a 2-in-1. It's either you're washing your hair every single day or you're not washing your hair enough. So if you're washing your hair every single day, girl, you're stripping your hair of all of that moisture we were just talking about. And if you're only washing your hair once a month, what you doing? You're gonna get all this built up in your scalp. Your scalp's not even gonna be able to breathe, and it's not even gonna be able to get the chance to grow. So please find at least once or twice a month to clean your hair, but girl, don't wash it every single day if you don't have to. That's just an accident waiting to happen. Now please, stop brushing and combing your hair all the time. It's just gonna make it break off, and if your hair is breaking off, then I highly doubt that it's gonna be able to grow, or it's gonna really take even longer for it to grow. So if you don't need to brush your hair, don't. If you don't need to comb your hair, don't. Use your fingers. Like I always say, these are your God-given gifts. So please, just try to avoid if you can. That's probably another reason why your hair is probably not growing, is because you're constantly using brushes and combs 24/7 in your hair. So another reason why your hair probably isn't growing is because you're manipulating it all the time. You're constantly putting it in slick back buns, to a ponytail, to pigtails, to braiding it out, to then letting it out, to twisting you're just basically manipulating your hair too much, and that's just gonna cause more added stress onto your hair and more added stress to your edges, which is, you don't want that. But if I were to recommend something with that, just find a long-term style that works for you and try to switch it out every now and then. This is my low manipulation style that I wear all the time, and then if I ever need to wear it up, I just use the satin scrunchie and then call it a day. So just stop manipulating your hair too much. It's not gonna help it grow. So another reason why your hair probably isn't growing is because you're detangling it wrong. I know I said don't use brushes and combs, but even when you finger detangle your hair, try to detangle your hair when it has conditioner in it, or when it has a wealthy amount of product in your hair, to make it a little easier and a little smoother. By doing it when your hair is dry and not moisturized or doesn't have any conditioner or product in it, it's just gonna break off, and you're just gonna get excess breakage, and your hair's not really gonna grow. You're probably not protecting your hair at night. And by protecting, I mean you're not using a satin hair tie, you're not using a satin pillowcase, you're not using a satin bonnet. You're just not protecting your hair in any sense of the word. You're just letting your hair free fly out on a cotton pillowcase and just letting it do its thing and just praying that it's gonna grow that way. Well, no, you need to protect your hair in order for it to grow. If you're just letting it live its life with no sense of protection, girl, it ain't gonna grow. Now, this one's a little tricky because it's so dependent on your hair and your hair type, but the reason why your hair is probably not growing is because you're using the wrong products. If you haven't, try to find out your hair type, if you have 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A, all the way up until 4C hair, and figure out the porosity of your hair. That can really determine the products that are best for your hair and the products that are actually going to benefit your hair and give it as much moisture and get it to be the strongest it can. Strong hair will grow. Strong, healthy hair will grow. Weak, damaged, dry, brittle hair won't grow. Another reason why your hair probably isn't growing is because you're not doing any like hot oil treatments, or you're not using the inversion method. And by the inversion method, I mean flipping your hair over, letting the blood flow circulate, and then massaging your scalp with some oil. Whether that's castor oil, Jamaican black castor oil, with a little bit of peppermint oil in it, whatever. You're not really massaging your scalp or doing things that, you know, that are actually going to stimulate hair growth. So start doing that and you may see a difference. Now, this last reason, I really don't want to say it because everyone says it, and like, yes, it's true, so I feel like I have to say it, but it's obviously only one little small factor in all of the other reasons that I gave. But it's like, are you taking care of yourself? Are you stressed? Are you getting the nutrients, the vitamins that you need? Are you drinking enough water? But let me just tell you, water itself will not make your hair grow. You need to do a lot of other things in order for your hair to be healthy at its best. But really start to think internally, as well as all of the factors that I listed. And yeah, so those are probably the reasons why your hair isn't growing, or at least growing in the way that you want it to. Hopefully you found some of these tips helpful, and if you have any tips of your own, comment them down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.